Hello, everyone. Welcome to my today's podcast. So, my channel is all about spiritual practices to really and truly transform your life from mind, body, and soul perspective. So, today's podcast or energy is entirely based on how to attain eternal peace. So, considering that, you would have heard a lot of people saying that I want to go to the church because it's a little bit more peaceful there. I want to sit in peace, right? And sometimes you would also see people saying that I want to go on my holidays and go to a quiet area, maybe which has a few beaches or a few places which are a lot quieter, or you want to go to a pilgrimage for getting that kind of peace, and so on and so forth, right? So, what exactly is peace? Let me quickly deep dive into that. Peace is a state of mind wherein you are completely content, doesn't matter whatever the situation is. Simple. And what contentment means is your thoughts or your emotions are not heavy on you, or are not suppressing you, or are not dominating you. Okay? Do me one favor, right? And this is going to be a quick litmus test to see whether, if you say that you're peaceful or not, right? If you're content or not. Sit in a room, turn off your mobile phone, turn off your TV, turn off any electronic gadget around you. And if you can sit for 30 minutes to an hour on your own without any problem and completely quiet and calm, that means you got it. You nailed it. This is what is called as peace. So for me, and for anybody who has attained that eternal peace, would mean that we don't have to worry about anything. Like not about the future, not thinking about the past, not thinking about any problems. Well, the problems will always be there. Life is never a straight line, right? But we are always able to get our peace back as quickly as possible because we know the spiritual practices that we can implement to get that peace back. So let me tell you how we can go ahead and implement certain spiritual practices that can give you eternal peace whatsoever. And no matter what, you get any problems in your life, be it health, wealth, emotional, mental, whatever that is, you'll be able to get that peace back, straight back. And those spiritual practices are so strong that will truly transform your life in all areas. Okay. The process is straightforward. It is simple. It is the simplest way in terms of understanding yourself. Where are you stuck? What is actually causing you all those thoughts and emotions? let's say if you have any health related issues, right? And your health related issue is always forcing you to think about your future, what's going to happen, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, so on and so forth. You're going to die, or you're going to fall ill, or those kind of thoughts pop in all the time. I'm just giving an example. I'm not literally meaning that. So you got to ask yourself a question: why are you thinking like that? First thing first. It's just because fears, right? And fears are really and truly in the spiritual realm are given to you to rise above and to get stronger rather than getting weaker. So it's basically a dark cloud. Fears are like dark cloud, right? Which is blocking the light, or probably I would say the courage to move beyond that. So how do I deal with fears? First thing first, from health point of view, I'm a type 2 diabetic. Okay? And I've been type 2 diabetic for last 13 years now. I'm 43 years old. And when I started doing intermittent fasting, I implemented that on my own without any doctor's guidance. Okay, I'm not recommending that, right? I'm not a health expert at all. That worked for me. However, in case we want to implement something like that, or maybe something which is going to help you from a health point of view, you can do what, you probably need to consult doctors, right? But for me, I fought those fears, and there was always a thing going on in my mind. Yeah, we were taught about like eating breakfast in the morning, and then, we have to have lunch, and then I have to take my medicine for type 2 diabetes and all that kind of stuff. How am I going to manage it? I took it as a challenge for me, and I rose beyond those fears, considering those fears as a gift to me to move on to the next level of my life as far as my health is concerned. Okay. Now, I'm making podcasts now, right? So I don't have to be a good looking guy or anything of that sort, but really and truly what I have to do is provide you value, and what are the spiritual principles that we can follow in our lives to get on to the next level of our lives, right? So I wasn't a good speaker at all. I'm an Indian, and see, my accent got changed completely. It took me a long time. I fought beyond those fears, again, taking that as a challenge to me, making sure that I'm getting out of my comfort zone, accepting those challenges in case if there are any fears, any wounds, or any limited belief systems I had in regards to talking in front of the camera with this kind of accent. I talked to myself and I asked that question straight away. Why do I think like that? Why do I have to believe in a limited way? And because of all those introspective questions, I took those fears as a gift from the Creator, from the universe, from the Lord, from the God, whatsoever that is. And I rose above that. And I kept practicing that, and see where I am right now. So I'm just giving you an example how you can implement spiritual practices. Basically, whenever we have to transform ourselves and attain that peace, we have to fight through certain fears. We have to fight through certain wounds. I would not say fight. I would say heal from certain wounds from the past. let's say from emotional point of view, this is more important, right? As compared to, see, the physical transformation and the mental transformation are really and truly easier than the emotional transformation. It's as simple as that. Why? Because the physical and the mental transformation takes lesser courage than doing your emotional transformation, because emotions are something that we get so much attached to, and we define ourselves with those emotions, and then we form that sense of ego, which is our identity. So, as I mentioned in my previous video, I was highly emotionally unstable, right? So I used to get carried away with my emotions and never used to have healthy boundaries. Never used to kind of like know who is, probably, is that person really thinking about me in a good way or a bad way. I was never able to kind of like um, figure that out, right? So I had to go through a healing process on my own. And the meditation that I teach, which is the true power of silence, called as dhyana in Sanskrit, that really and truly helped me in that. Yeah. So when I started doing that meditation, I started healing all my chakras, right? So there are 7 chakras in our body. And spiritually, in Hinduism, they call it chakras. In different spiritualities, we will probably call as the emotional transformation or emotional healing. So those chakras will start removing the blockages from your soul, which will remove the blockages by healing your wounds from your past, forgiving people who have hurt you. That is the biggest thing and the toughest thing. And accepting the situations and the people the way they are around you. It doesn't mean that you have to entertain them in your life. And also, if there are any fears, you know, popping in all the time and disturbing you, you got to accept those fears as a gift. The moment you will say, okay, I'm getting, a fearful thought that this is going to happen tomorrow or probably after a week time or so, right? And then you say, the universe, thank you very much. This fear is so good for me. Thank you very much. You see the transformation and the reprogramming of your emotions after just like 2 minutes or so. Believe you me, that's the best spiritual practice that you can ever follow for fighting fears, any kind of fears. And then doesn't matter whether you want to go to the gym, doesn't matter whether you want to be emotionally stable, doesn't matter you want to heal from the past wound, doesn't matter, you know, whatever passion that you want to follow in your life, you want to step into that, you can remove those fears like this, one by one, one by one. So, fears is the worst thing that actually takes away our peace. Yeah. And not only that, I got to remind you one thing. Once you have the sense of detachment from your identity, which is you are this or you are that, you own that kind of money, or you have this kind of bank balance, or you have this kind of big house, or whatever identity you have created on your mind about yourself, if you start detaching yourself from there by accepting the way you are, by understanding what you really are, by calming yourself down, by removing all those fears one by one, and also reversing all those limited belief systems, then you will clear that dark cloud of everything which is stopping that light from the universe to give you the realm of miracles. Miracles would be that if you're stuck in some kind of like patterns, those patterns will stop. miracles could be tangible, could be non-tangible, okay? So miracles don't really mean that they would be tangible, but so for me, the miracle recently, what happened was, as I mentioned, I govern my respect. So wherever I go, I just see and I bump into those kind of people who really respect me. Okay. So I will, in case, unfortunately, if somebody wants to go ahead and trigger me, I am so calm emotionally and mentally now that I just forgive them, what they are, accept them the way they are, and then I just move on. I don't even respond to them. You don't have to respond to them at all. So that's how calm, emotionally calm, and mentally calm you have to be. So, in a nutshell, your eternal peace, you can attain it by practicing spiritual practices such as forgiveness about a past, about certain relationships that hurt you, certain situations that hurt you, certain traumas that happened in your life. And it's a repetitive cycle. You got to do it every now and then. Because what happens is when we're caught up in our thoughts, it keeps going and going and going and never stops, right? So you need to pay close attention to your thoughts there. And as I say, the power of silence, the meditation that I teach, it's the purest, the best way to kind of calm yourself down and just identify all those emotions and the patterns coming onto your mind. Forgiveness, accepting the situation the way it is, the way it is. I'm 40 years old, man. I do not have a family. I do not have kids. Although I want to get married, I want to get married to my divine love or true love or whatever that is. I haven't bumped into her right now, but that's what my desire is. But I'm not attached to that desire. I'm not, scrutinizing or getting frustrated because of that thing that I haven't got my true love in my life or I haven't got a family in my life. So there is a sense of detachment, and I'm always evolving and always growing in my life. So I've accepted the situation and I've detached myself as well from the desires that I have. And that's how you can accept the situation, people, but really and truly, you do not have to kind of include them as part of your life. Fears, I talk about. Take fears as a gift from the universe. Because believe you me, the universe loves spirituality. We keep saying the universe is going to give you this, the universe is going to give you that, and all that kind of stuff. The universe loves spirituality, and the universe also loves the fact that if you are going through the challenges, or pain, or heartbreaks, or losses, and you are coming over that with the sense of peace and love, the universe says, oh, wow, that person is powerful. Let me give him more. Let me give her more. Okay? The universe behaves in that way. Because I told you spirituality is all about what goes around is what comes around. Okay? So, all those things that I told you, start practicing them, and believe you me, within 2 months or so, you'll start feeling magic. You'll start seeing the reality changing for you. And you will start loving your own company. You will make yourself as your best friend. Believe you me. Don't worry about the world. World will say, oh, you will get isolated, you will get alone because they have any past wounds and they're not able to take accountability of that. You don't have to worry about the other people. Because they're not courageous. If somebody is not courageous, you're not responsible for their acts. Simple. Right? You take accountability of yourself. And always remember that. What you are is what you're gonna get. And this is Sunny, signing off. May the universe, the Lord, the God, bless you with eternal peace. Take care.